A former US Air Force major and elite fighter pilot has been arrested for allegedly training Chinese military pilots in what US authorities describe as a major national security breach. Gerald Eddie Brown Jr., a former F-35 and A-10 simulator instructor, is accused of secretly helping China's People's Liberation Army Air Force sharpen its combat aviation skills, despite strict US laws banning such defense services without government approval.
When U.S. persons, whether military or civilian, provide training to a foreign military, that activity is illegal unless they have a license from the State Department. The National Security Division will use all tools at its disposal to protect our military advantages and hold to account those who would violate the AECA.
Prosecutors say Brown served more than 24 years in the US Air Force, commanding sensitive units linked to nuclear weapons delivery systems and flying frontline combat jets, including the F-15, F-16, A-10, and the advanced F-35 stealth fighter. After retiring, he worked with US defense contractors training American pilots, giving him access to modern combat aviation doctrine that Washington considers among its most closely guarded military advantages.
Gerald Brown, a former F-35 Lightning II instructor pilot with decades of experience flying U.S. military aircraft, allegedly betrayed his country by training Chinese pilots to fight against those he swore to protect. The Chinese government continues to exploit the expertise of current and former members of the U.S. Armed Forces to modernize China's military capabilities.
Investigators allege Brown began arranging his contract to train Chinese pilots in 2023, communicating with intermediaries linked to Steven Subin, a Chinese national previously convicted in the United States for stealing sensitive US military data. In December 2023, Brown traveled to China and remained there for more than 2 years, answering questions about the US Air Force and presenting briefings to Chinese Air Force personnel before moving on to training fighter pilots.
In the resume he prepared for his application, Brown wrote his objective as instructor fighter pilot. Upon his arrival in China, he told a co-conspirator, "Now I have the chance to fly and instruct fighter pilots again."
Military analysts warn the damage from such training could go far beyond basic flying skills. Experts say China would be eager to extract insights into Western combat aviation tactics, including how US pilots operate stealth aircraft like the F-35, how they avoid detection, and how they plan offensive strikes and air defense missions. Even basic simulator training, analysts say, can reveal how US pilots think, react, and fight in high-pressure combat situations. The case is sending shockwaves across Allied air forces that operate the F-35, now the backbone of Western air power, with hundreds of jets already in service and thousands more on order. Analysts say US allies are likely pressing Washington to disclose what may have been compromised and whether Western air combat tactics and procedures now need to be rewritten to blunt any advantage China may have gained.